If you are over 60 and still eat cheese regularly, there is something important you should know. According to several nutrition surveys in the United States, most older adults consume cheese multiple times a week. This is not unusual, as cheese has long been considered a familiar source of protein and calcium in the diet. But the key point is not whether you eat cheese or not. It is about the type of cheese you choose. Many nutrition studies from health organizations and universities have shown that not all cheeses are the same. Some types may help the body absorb nutrients more effectively, while others contain processed ingredients or high levels of sodium that may negatively affect cardiovascular health when consumed frequently. The problem is that most people are not aware of this difference. They choose cheese based on habit, convenience, or taste, without realizing that this choice can influence their body over time. And this does not happen immediately. It happens quietly. Small meals, small choices, repeated day after day, can build into significant differences in health over the years. Just because a food is familiar does not mean it is always beneficial in every situation. When you better understand what you are eating, you gain the ability to make smarter choices that support your long-term health. Once you realize that not all cheeses are the same, you begin to see the issue from a different perspective. It is no longer about whether you should eat cheese or not. It becomes a question of which type you should choose. In reality, some types of cheese can offer meaningful nutritional value when used appropriately. They not only provide protein, but also contain compounds that help the body absorb and utilize nutrients more effectively. For example, cheeses that are aged for longer periods often have partially broken down protein structures, making them easier for the body to digest. At the same time, this process can also produce beneficial compounds that support digestion and metabolism. The key is to understand that these benefits do not come from eating more, but from choosing the right type and consuming it in appropriate amounts. When you shift from eating out of habit to eating with awareness, even a familiar food can become a valuable part of long-term health support. However, not all cheeses offer these benefits. In fact, some types may lead to unwanted effects when consumed regularly, especially in older adults. This is not because cheese itself is bad, but because of how it is made. Processed or industrially produced cheeses are often made with added salt, stabilizers, emulsifiers, and other ingredients to extend shelf life and improve texture. When consumed in high amounts over time, these factors may affect the body's nutritional balance. In addition, some varieties contain high levels of sodium, which many nutrition experts recommend limiting, especially for individuals with blood pressure concerns. What makes this more concerning is that these types of cheese are widely available and easy to purchase. Not every convenient option is a healthy one. When you understand how food is made, you are better equipped to make informed choices that support and protect your health. Another important difference that many people overlook is that the aging time of cheese can influence how the body absorbs nutrients. Cheeses that are aged for longer periods go through natural transformations, during which complex proteins are gradually broken down into smaller, more digestible forms. This can be especially meaningful for older adults whose digestive systems may not function as efficiently as they once did. In addition, the aging process can reduce lactose content, making certain cheeses easier to tolerate compared to fresh dairy products for some individuals. In addition, this process can also create certain beneficial compounds that support digestion and improve the body's ability to absorb nutrients. Of course, this does not mean that longer aging is always better in every case. What matters is understanding the characteristics of each type so you can make the right choice. The way food is processed and finished can have a significant impact on its nutritional value. When you understand this, you are better able to choose what suits your body. One important factor that is often overlooked when talking about cheese is vitamin K2. This is a micronutrient that is not commonly discussed in everyday conversations, yet it plays a notable role in the body. You can think of it in a simple way. When you consume calcium from food, your body needs a kind of guide to direct that calcium to the right places. Vitamin K2 is one of the key factors involved in this process. It helps support the proper distribution of calcium to the bones, rather than allowing it to accumulate in places where it is not needed. Some observational nutrition studies have noted that adequate intake of vitamin K2 is associated with maintaining bone health and supporting cardiovascular function in older adults. Interestingly, certain aged cheeses can serve as a natural source of K2, something many people may not be aware of. However, this does not mean that eating more is always better. It is about understanding its role and using it appropriately. Not all nutritional value comes from what we are already familiar with. When you gain a deeper understanding of micronutrients, you begin to see food in a more complete and informed way. Alongside vitamin K2, another important but often overlooked factor is the quality of protein and the natural enzymes found in cheese. Not all proteins are the same. What makes the difference is how the body absorbs and utilizes them. In some types of cheese, especially those made using traditional methods, the proteins have already been partially broken down during the aging process. This allows the body to absorb them more efficiently without having to do as much work to process them. In addition, the natural enzymes present in certain foods may help support digestion, allowing the body to process nutrients more gently. This becomes even more important as we age, since the digestive system no longer functions as efficiently as it once did. When food is easier to digest, the body is less likely to feel overloaded and can make better use of the nutrients it receives. It is not just about eating enough, but about eating in a way that your body can actually absorb. When you choose foods that match your digestive capacity, you help your body function more effectively each day. Another factor that many people rarely associate with cheese is gut health. But in reality, these two are closely connected. Some types of cheese, especially those that are naturally aged, may contain beneficial bacteria or bioactive compounds formed during the fermentation process. These elements can help support the gut environment, which plays a key role in digestion and nutrient absorption. When the digestive system functions well, the body is more likely to use nutrients from food efficiently. On the other hand, if the gut is out of balance, even a well-rounded diet may not be absorbed optimally. It is important to note that not all cheeses have these properties. Heavily processed or highly pasteurized products may no longer retain these beneficial components. Health is not only about what you eat, but also about how your body processes what you eat. When you take care of your digestive system, you are building a foundation for your entire body to function more effectively. When it comes to types of cheese that require more careful consideration, one group that cannot be overlooked is processed cheese products. At first glance, they are very convenient, easy to store, easy to use, and familiar in taste. But behind that convenience lies a production process that is quite different from natural cheese. These products are often made with added emulsifiers, preservatives, and a significant amount of salt to maintain texture and extend shelf life. When consumed regularly, these factors may influence how the body responds to food over time. In particular, high sodium content is something many nutrition experts recommend keeping under control, especially for older adults. In addition, heat processing and heavy industrial production can alter the original nutritional structure, making it harder for the body to absorb nutrients as effectively as it would from more natural foods. What is concerning is that these products are very common in everyday life. Convenience does not always come with nutritional value. When you start paying attention to how food is made, you can make smarter choices for your long-term health. Another important point that many people do not realize is that certain types of cheese may affect the body in subtle ways if consumed inappropriately. This does not happen immediately. It builds up over time. Some types of cheese, especially those high in sodium or containing heavily processed ingredients, may cause the body to retain more water, which can affect how light and comfortable you feel when moving. In addition, long-term overconsumption as part of an unbalanced diet may influence cardiovascular health or metabolic processes in the body. What is important to understand is that these effects are often not obvious at the beginning. They develop slowly over time, making it difficult for many people to connect them to their daily eating habits. That is why paying attention to your body and adjusting your diet is essential. Health is not shaped by a single choice, but by the habits you repeat every day. When you make adjustments early, you can create a significant difference in the long run. If there is one key takeaway you should remember from everything we have discussed today, it is this: not all cheeses are the same. Throughout this video, we have explored a clear and complete picture, from realizing that many people still choose foods based on habit, to understanding that certain types of cheese may better support the body due to how they are made and their nutritional composition, and just as importantly, recognizing that some types should be used with caution because they may affect the body if not consumed appropriately. The key is not about completely eliminating or making sudden changes. It is about beginning to understanding the differences between foods, understanding how your body responds to what you eat, and from there, making better choices each day. Over time, these small choices can create a significant difference in your health and overall quality of life. When you understand correctly and choose wisely, food becomes more than just something you eat. It becomes a tool that helps you maintain your health and stay in control of your life. If you found this content helpful, try making one small change starting today. And if you would like to learn more about simple and effective ways to take care of your body, consider following for more content in upcoming videos.